Well, howdy ho and hello friends, family, fans, and finish line focused, fantastically fine folks. So, I don't have my watch, but today is Thursday. Is it September 7th? I think it's the 7th. You can fill in if I'm wrong there, but I'm pretty sure it's Thursday, September 7th, and I am at Pine Ellis Lodge in Andover, Maine. Now, here's what happened today. So we got in last evening, and it was kind of late, so everything was pretty abbreviated. We had to move quick, got a quick shower, whatever, ate some delicious food at Mills Market here in town. It was fabulous, the hiker special, delicious. Anyhow, got up, had a pretty decent night's sleep, and got up this morning, got on the 9 o'clock shuttle, so it was nice, got to sleep till like 6:45, had a pretty decent breakfast, a couple donuts, a wonderful homemade, hand-picked Maine blueberry muffin that they make here. It was fabulous. Had several cups of coffee and just had a nice relaxing morning. And then we slack packed the 10 miles from the first road into Andover to the second road to Andover. And it was a very nice day of hiking. The trail was not as brutal as it has been the last couple of days. And what I chose to do this morning was leave my phone here connected to the Wi-Fi and plugged in, that it would upload videos while I was gone and out hiking. And when I got back today, all my videos had uploaded. So it was, I believe, a good decision to get those videos off my phone, get them up there where Halo can do her thing and edit them and all that. So no footage from the trail today between that 10 miles between those two roads. However, I will say this, I think it was probably the most normal, kind of boring, mundane section of trail that I've had. So there was really nothing much to film, no good photo ops, not much else. So I feel like it was a good decision. So there's going to be no footage from that quick 10-mile section, but we did right at 2 miles an hour average, stopping a couple, 3 times for food and some water, and we just had a good time. I hiked with PR and Aspirations, GQ part of the time. Dog was a little behind us. An older couple named Happy and Doc. They were mostly in front of us, I guess, but we all 7 slack packed that section today and had a great day. It was a great time. The weather, it rained a little bit on us, but now the sun's come out. Maybe as you can see back here, we've got gear scattered everywhere, drying it. I just dried my tent. I left my sleeping bag open today while we were gone so it could dry. We got everything, yeah, hopefully I'm pretty well dried out. Tonight, Dog and I are going to the cabin, which is down at the campground area here. It's part of Pine Ellis, and we're going to stay there. There's no Wi-Fi. So that's why I chose to leave my phone here so it could upload. But anyway, I was pretty down yesterday, very tired, long, hard days in a row. Today was fabulous. Today I feel much more rested. We got done at 2:45, got back here at like 3:30 or whatever. We're going to eat Mexican buffet in a little bit, so life is good. It's all great. I'm so happy, feel a lot better, much more rested. So looking forward to the next couple of days as we go hike. So guys, I want to really thank you for coming along with me. Thank you for taking the time to watch and subscribe, to like and to comment. I really appreciate it all, and keep it up, keep up the good work as we narrow down on this trail here that they call the AT. I looked at the guide. I think there's 246 miles left, so we're under 250. It's getting closer. Halo and the kids, Mother Reed, they head out tomorrow morning, Friday morning. They're coming out here, headed this way. So I'm excited about that. Maybe I'll get to see them by Tuesday or so. We'll see. So anyway, thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Figured I would take you inside and show you the hostel real fast. So this is the front porch, and it's loaded down with, with backpacks, and there's some of my stuff right there. Donuts for in the morning, my resupply box that Halo hooked me up with. That's my pack liner full of all my other junk. So, and I got a couple Gatorades and bananas for in the morning. So here's the kitchen real quick. Uh-oh, it's not wanting to focus. There it goes. Dog and the Muffin Angel. I call her Muffin Magician. She makes the best muffins in the world. Here's the kitchen. And then restroom. I don't know if it's occupied. Yep, there's the restroom. It's a very nice restroom. Good shower. And upstairs is where PR and GQ and Aspirations are staying. I got to go up and get my clothes here in a minute. So we're in the bunkhouse out there, but we're going to the cabin. Hey, there's Aspirations. You want to say hi to your dad?
Hey.
All right. There's PR.
Hey.
How long does it take to get to 17?
Hey, hey, and howdy ho. There, are you ready? Do it with me. Friends, family, fans, and finish line focused, fantastically fine folks. Some of you might even be able to call yourselves freaky and fabulous. So hello to all of you out there in YouTube world. So today is a big day. Today is a huge day. Today is Friday, September 8th. Wow, September 8th, Friday. Today's the day that Halo, Mother Reed, H2O, Gigi, and Poke head out. They're leaving the homeland and headed for Maine. They're headed up here to see me. And Lord willing, be there at the end for the Mount Katahdin grand finale. But they're leaving home, so poor Halo is a little stressed, making sure she's got everything, because they're going to be gone for a while, a few weeks, something like that. And so she's trying to make sure she has all the stuff she needs and everything. But anyway, guess what I'm doing today? I'm hiking the Appalachian Trail. I'm going northbound on the AT. Yeah, figuring out how to squeeze between these rocks. And I think we're at, I don't know, South Arm, something like that. We're hiking 13.5 miles to, I don't know, another road. And the people from Pine Ellis Lodge are going to pick us up there. So Curdog and I left on the 8 o'clock shuttle this morning. The Three Musketeers, aka Jordan, Allen, and Kyle, or Aspirations, GQ, and PR, they're all doing the 9:30 shuttle. So they're going to be a little ways behind us, but they're speedy quick. So they may get there around the same time. It's probably a good move on their part. This is some rough terrain. This 13.5 is going to be a little tougher than yesterday's very easy 10. I say easy. It's not easy at all. But compared to what we've been through, it's so easy. So anyhow, body feels good. I slept well. Thankfully, and I got some thoughts on the whole Appalachian Trail at this late in the game. So remind me and I'll come back to that and talk about it later. But anyway, thank you for coming along. Let's see what happens today on the AT. So hike this thing with me and let's bring some glory to God together as we do it. So thank you so much for comments and for everything. We'll check in here soon. I'm climbing a big old mountain coming up out of that road. It's a big one. It's rugged. There's already been rebar, big rock steps. So hiking the AT. Gotta love it. Wow, I stopped the video like 4 feet short of this tiny side trail right here to this amazing view. I should have done all of it here, but wow, Maine is rugged and beautiful. And yeah, look down there. Steep. All right, I'm headed up towards Old Blue Mountain. Been climbing since we left the road, which was South Arm Road. It was 2.1 miles back, and it's been exactly 1 hour, so I'm very happy with that timing, considering it's been fairly legit climbing. In fact, there was rebar and handholds and one spot where you had to grab trees and stuff to go down a little chunk. So it's been yeah, a little difficult trail. But so here's my thoughts on the so anyway, I'm happy about the time, very happy. So here's my thoughts on the AT at this point. after New Hampshire, the White Mountains and everything that goes along with that, then you get into those Wildcats, and you finish off, Carter Dome, and you finish off the White Mountains, and you're pretty well beat down and exhausted. And so then you enter Maine, and the first thing, 0.4 miles into Maine, is an absolutely ridiculous cliff that you have to go down. And I mean, it is ridiculous. That's where Socks fell and was hurt. And so, mossy, slippery. So anyway, and plus you're just beat down and tired. You're coming up to the Mahoosic Notch and the Mahoosic Arm and all that. And poor Halo is at home, and she's listening to me just whine and cry like a baby. And she's wanting me to enjoy it. She's like, oh, honey, try to enjoy, the last little bit. And believe me, I get it. I get it. But talk to a marathon runner, or maybe you are one. And marathon runners typically don't enjoy the last 3 miles or so of the marathon. They are hurting. They are tired. They are running out of gas. They're bonking. And then now, so they're struggling hard. Now, throw in some slippery rocks, some roots, some moss-covered slopes like this. Throw in mud bogs and mountains and sleep deprivation and heavy packs full of cold weather gear and clothes that you're not used to carrying because you're used to your summer stuff. And you're not going to enjoy those last little bit. So it's like every mud bog and every mountain and every slippery, cliff you got to go up or down is in the way of you finishing that marathon. Or for us, a through hike of the AT. And so it's like, it's hard to sit back and enjoy it when it's trying to kill you and you're just trying to survive so you can make it to the end. And so it's so hard. And so I feel for you trail bosses and trail angels, and you're trying to encourage us, and we're so negative and struggling and cursing the trail and the ATC and all that. Yeah, it's beautiful, but when it's literally dangerous and you just want to finish, so hopefully that makes sense. Sorry about being down and negative at times. In general, our bodies are just getting wore out big time. We have nothing, not much left in the tank to give. And so we're trying to make it. And anyway, there's my thoughts. So sorry for all the thru hikers, the vloggers that seem to be negative at this point in the trail. I think mentally we're probably just mush. Most everything on us is mush. And yeah, there you have it. What do you guys think? Oh, so one more thought on the whole trail being in the way. Maybe I mentioned it earlier, but anyway, it's personal. It's so hard not to take every issue that we face, every difficulty, obstacle, as personal. Like that mountain is personally trying to keep you from finishing, and you're like mad at it for being there, for doing its job or whatever. It's personal. Every like I said, every mud bog, every boulder field, whatever slippery root section, it's personal. And you even kind of get mad at the trail builders and the ATC. Why did they send us through here? It's so dangerous because it's like they're personally trying to keep us from finishing, or get us hurt or whatever. So anyway, there's that. All right. That's my thoughts. Whew. On that, as we leap down the trail. Oh boy, and up the rock scramble, or the slippery slope, like a cheetah, is no problem when you've got claws in your paws to help you. So look at that, one-handed. See how good God is? One-handed. Wow. All right, I wanted to take a minute and talk about a life lesson learned here today. And first thing, I have to preface this. Oh, please hear me. I mean this with all due respect. I do not mean this in any bad way. So hopefully it comes across in the way that I intend this to be. And that's just a respectful observation that I've learned. And I also want to preface this with, please, I hope this doesn't sound prideful or egotistical, because that is certainly not the case either, at least not what's intended. So here's my observation, is you really can't hardly listen to a local about the trail conditions or trail knowledge or whatever. And what I mean by that is, or for that matter, like a day hiker, a weekend hiker, or even like a short section hiker or whatever, you just can't listen to them if you're a through hiker, especially later on in the trail. For instance, shuttle driver, one of them, back at Pine Ellis Lodge, told a group of hikers the other day, you can't do the Bald Pate. There's no way. If you do, you'll die. It's way too dangerous, way too slippery. We all went up and did it, and it was fine. You had to be careful, but no more careful than about 90% of the trail. Hey, looky there. Boom. Blowing up blazes. No more careful than so many other places that we've been through. And what happens is, and I've seen it so many times just in Maine with the caretaker at the campsite and everybody, and they mean well, but they listen to the forecast and, there's a chance of rain or whatever, and it could be strong. And I mean, they're like, you're all going to die. The conditions are going to be so horrible. And it rains for a couple of hours as we hike. I mean, dude, we're through hikers. We've walked 1,950 miles through the mountains. We've seen it rain. We've seen it blow. We've seen it rain and blow. We've seen it snow. We've seen it sleet. We've been super cold. We've been super hot. We've seen billions of slippery rocks. We've climbed hundreds of mountains in all those conditions. If we listen to the locals, about their favorite mountain, and see, every local wants their section to be the baddest, most gnarly, most difficult piece of trail or whatever. It's a prideful thing. They want their area to be tough or whatever. And so, well, goodness gracious, it's so tough you can't do it. And then we go out there, and sure we can. It's no big deal. I appreciate the warning. Anyway, hopefully you understand. So you have to be super careful listening to locals. You just have to be very careful, or else what happens is you don't end up hiking, or you don't hike as far, or you go into it with really nervous, being really nervous or something that, and I'm not saying don't be cautious and don't, try to glean a little information from people, but man, take it with a lot of grains of salt. So the next thing is the forecast. Like I said, Lord have mercy. The forecast, it's I'm sure it's because of the mountains. I'm sure it's, I know they're doing the best they can, but wow, never right. And we all hope that they are, and you try to listen and try to pay attention and plan out your day or whatever. Man, are they wrong. I mean, it's wrong. It's always wrong. It's never right. Ooh boy, stay above the water. And so, if you listen to the forecast, and some people do, too much, and I do too. I listen to it some, but I'm learning you might as well not, because it's wrong so much. You just can't predict the weather up here in the mountains or whatever. And so, you know what? Plan your day and go hike. Don't worry too much about the forecast. Especially bad weather, things like that. I mean, pay attention to where they're calling for it, whatever. Make sure you're prepared with gear and stuff, and hopefully experience. Again, this is kind of for later in the hike, through hikers. But man, if you listen to the forecast and like didn't hike in the rain or whatever, we'd be in North Carolina right now, not Maine. So suck it up and go out there and hike. And if you have to walk in some really bad rain and you get kind of cold, just keep hiking as long as you can. When you get to a good site that evening, get your tent pitched, get you some water, get in there, and don't come out till morning. You'll be okay. So the bottom line is, like, don't put too much credence in the weather forecast, or unfortunately the locals. And again, I mean this with respect, because they want to help, whatever, but it's so skewed. I've heard it now, every person I've talked with in the last like 2 weeks. I mean, it's nothing but huge warnings, and if we listened to them, we'd still be back in New Hampshire. You know, and I'm not saying go out into a hurricane. You know, people in Florida don't evacuate. I'm not talking like that, okay? I hope you can tell the difference. And I don't mean this pridefully, but again, as a through hiker, this far along, we've seen slippery rocks, we've seen muddy bogs, we've seen everything that you can possibly see. We've seen it, we've hiked through it, we've done it, we've accomplished it, we've completed it. We're pretty bad to the bone hikers at this point. Come on, can I get a witness? Y'all are at home saying, amen, disciple. You go, brother. Wow, are these boards slippery. And the logs, man, I better put the phone away or it'll end up at the bottom of one of these bogs. And that wouldn't be cool. So, anyhow, there's life lessons learned. A couple thoughts. Thoughts from the boggy trail up in Maine. Man, is it slow today. So many roots and puddles and bogs and rocks and stuff that my pace is just hammered, so slow. But it's all good. Look at the trail. You know, it rained last night. You can't go hike because it's going to be muddy. Really. We've seen mud, lots of it. We've been through it. The whole state of Maine is muddy. Vermud is nothing compared to Maine. All right, let me stop. Hey, look at these trees. See the moss and stuff growing on them? It looks like snow. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at that. That is cool. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what kind of a moss or whatever that is, but it is neat. All right, got to come do it. But you need to be prepared to put your body through where the devil will be cast at the end when everything is fulfilled and accomplished. The place of eternal judgment. Weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. That's the AT. Come hike the AT where there's weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. Check out what I get to look at. Top of Bemis Mountain. That might be like second Bemis Mountain or something over there. I'm not sure. Anyway, Bemis Mountain. It rained, then the sun came out. Now it looks like it might rain again. Welcome to Maine. Wow, oh wow. Look at this. I'll start over here. Look at this. Wow, the sun's shining. There's a nice little breeze blowing. Gorgeous. Man. Very nice. Poor family left home. I don't know what time for sure. Drove like an hour and a half and had a big blowout on the camper. So Halo changed the spare tire. She is so good at that. kind of thing. I mean, she can just pick up and do whatever. Anyhow, spare tire's low on air, so they limp into a town to get more air, etc. And thank goodness father-in-law shows up. Got, like, bottom line, they're getting 4 new tires on the camper. They had issues, and apparently they were all like slipping belts and different things. So my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Matt and Sandy, they had taken the camper and had a blowout on it a while back. So anyway, all new tires, but they're not getting very far, unfortunately. But they'll have all new tires. That's a good thing. Check out the trail, and you know, up here we're on south. There's a cool cairn. We're on 2nd Bemis Mountain, or 2nd Bemis Peak, or whatever. And so it's just this like bald, you know, granite tops, and really interesting. It's not bad as long as it's dry. Both Doggy and I went down. I fell first, and then later he came behind me and he fell in the same spot. There's some slippery rocks, and he banged his elbows again. I didn't really bang anything. I just ended up on my head underneath a tree as I slid down the rocks and kind of caught myself. And then I don't know if I went over on my shoulder or if my feet went out from under me again when I hit the edge. Anyway, I ended up big time crashing underneath a tree. So thankfully nothing was injured. Just adds to the experience. Dog says, Maine is trying to kill me. It is. It's been rough on the Dog and I both. It's been rough on all of us. It is pretty though. But them there blazes don't want to give up very easily. They are fighting tooth and nail. Another cairn marking the way, so you can tell. It's kind of nice. You look up and you think, because on these big bald spots, you can go anywhere. And there's tiny little trails that lead off, you know, like this. You think, where does it go next? And if you can see a cairn sticking up, you know, hey, that's where it goes. Yay! So here we are at the road, 4:45. That's a lot better than I thought. For as rough as the trail was for a while, muddy and icky. But look at the gorgeous view. Oh, nice breeze. Drying some sweat. There's the 3 Mouseketeers flying down the trail. They don't get muddy because their feet don't touch the ground. Here's oh, look at the trees changing up there. Beautiful. Wow.